How's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna be doing my tackle and fishing pole setup, I think. So we'll see what we can do about that. I just need to say one thing before we start this video. Thank you so much for 11 subscribers. It's so crazy how I went from 9 subscribers to 11 subscribers in less than a day. And my views went up from like 25 views to 30 views in less than a day. And all these nice comments to my channel. I'll post some of your guys' comments right here. Shout you guys out. Here. And if you guys actually want to check out these people, they're right up here. So show these guys some love on their channel. They make really good videos and they're really supportive of my channel. So, well, enough said. Let's get into this video. My room's really messy, so I'm just gonna set up this tripod. Sorry, guys. So the first rod we're gonna have right here is the it's a micro light. It's just like, honestly, it's a little dirty up there, but this rod right here is, can you see me? So this rod right here is just it's just like a micro light rod. I set it up with just a small bobber. I got these bobbers for like 99 cents at Fleet Farm, and hooked it up, paired it up with this little green grub. I actually bought a kit like, I don't know, like 2 years ago. It's like a crappie kit that gives you like bobbers, jigs, and these little worm things. They're not that great quality, but they catch fish, and I caught a lot of fish with these things. But actually, I have if you're getting started in the crappie fishing, I might actually make a new video or separate video about this, how to catch crappie. I caught like hundreds with this technique and these lures and stuff, but these work really good. They have a nice action in the water. They usually, it depends, and usually I spray these with some sort of fish scent stuff. I don't know if it works or not. You could, and sometimes they take a little bit of fish. If you do get anything like a little sliver of some like meat or food or piece of fish or something, just a tiny bit right there, that'll bring out the scent from it, and it'll look like a fish too. So you just want to jig it up and down. I'm gonna post. Maybe this week. I'm not having that many ideas for YouTube videos, so that's why I haven't posted in like a while. So hopefully you guys like this video anyway. But yeah, so it's just a bobber and a jig. It's not. I'm not sure what this knot is even called. I've been using a spider hitch knot. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm using a spider hitch. That's a knot I usually use. I didn't know what it's called before. Like, I used that for most of my fishing life, a spider hitch knot. But you can't really use that. I usually use a polymer knot on most things, but this thing, you can't really do any types of knots with this, because only like, it's really hard to like get a loop and then push it through this tiny little hole right there, if you're focusing or not. But, well, this rod actually has some story behind it. This is actually my my brother's rod, like about, I don't know, 5 years ago or more. When they moved out, they left this rod here. It's let's see what it says right here. It says it's a Stream Angler rod. I actually have the reel somewhere, but it's a really bad reel. Like, I'm not saying the company's bad, but I'm just saying the reel is crap. Like, if you ever find the same reel as this, but this reel, I actually replaced it with this reel right here. Sorry, I can't really. Right there. I actually replaced it with that reel. I actually had another reel. I don't know what it goes with. I don't know if I can find a picture of it or not, but I replaced it because it's so crap. Like, the reel, it's like whenever you move it, like the whole thing shakes and like grinds when you move it. Maybe it's a problem because I got water in it or not. I don't know. And the reel is so crap. I think it's like slightly like a really cheap like aluminum for the spool for it, but it's really cheap. So I paired it with this. I got this at a thrift store for like, I don't know, $2. I actually had a sale, so it was like about $2. I think it was like $4.99, and I got it like half off. So it's a nice rod. You just push this little button. Okay. It's got this hooked to my electric guitar. Okay. If you want to see any electric guitar videos, you just ask me. But see, just like this. And this is, let's see what this rod is. I think this is a 5/6 medium, 4 to 8 pound test, 1/8 to a ½ ounce rod. It's a nice rod. It's a light rod. That's why I hook it on this light reel, this ultra light reel. It says what the hell is micro light rod, and it works good. The drag is like like really crap drag. Like you listen to it, like it just sounds like some sort of like grinding gear sound. But that's how much you get cheap rods. Let's go into my next rod. Okay, guys, this is my next rod right about here. It's a Easy Cast. I actually got this like a couple months ago. It's a really, really, really good rod. I actually use this for a while now. Well, I used it for like a couple times fishing. It is a really, really good rod. I got this at a thrift store too. So like, I don't know, it doesn't have a price tag. I'm gonna look it up. It's a Shakespeare Easy Cast, 3.21 gear ratio. It's just like those button. I don't know what they're called exactly, but like these button press ones. I know what the name is, like in the tip of my tongue, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. But you can tell me down in the comments what these kind of rods. I might just look it up and figure it out. But it's a nice, really nice rod. The Shakespeare Easy Cast, as I said, is paired up with a Shakespeare sturdy stick. It's a really nice rod. It has a nice. See if you can see the bend. It has a nice bend. The rest of it is a little bit stiff, but it still has a nice. It bends around to here to the end. So it's a nice old, like a vintage rod, and it has a really nice handle right there. It really grips right in your hand, and it really casts really nice. And it's easy. That's why I usually have these for crappie fishing, just in case you want to cover a lot of water. Just cast, reel in, cast, reel in. Instead of holding on the string, flipping the bail, and casting, you're basically just pushing the button, casting, reeling in, pushing the button, casting. It's much easier to cover some more water. Also, I'm using, this is actually a bigger jig. I just had this laying around, but I'm not sure exactly what ounce this jig is, but it's paired with one of these little, like, I don't know, what are these called, like octopus jigs? They're not exactly, oh, this is a little bit broken. I might need to replace it, but, I don't know what these are called. They're like little grubs. They look like little baby octopus. Like a baby octopus. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but you could pick these up at like Walmart or something, like 90 cents for a little bag of them. Like they're really small, but they work really good at catching fish. Actually, where I fish, I'm not gonna tell you where I fish, but I fish next to a dam. Well, I'm not gonna tell you the location because you guys, I don't know, you guys might be freaking blow up the dam or some shit. So it's just basically just a bobber. I usually have it about, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet down. That's usually good, but usually when you fish, it's gonna be springtime soon. I can't wait to make. I'll be posting frequently, like hopefully once a week, and doing new fishing videos. Cause I want to have like lots of ideas. I'll give you like a sneak peek. I'm gonna hopefully do like a fishing survival challenge, hand lining. See if we catch some fish. Of course, gonna catch fish. There's fish always there. Next to the dam, as I'm gonna say, there's just some videos I might do. I have a lot more on my phone. I have a whole bunch of ideas. If you guys want to know any more ideas or you have any ideas, just post down in the description so I could do when it's springtime, when it's pre-spawn season. I can't wait. So let me testing out these, and also I'm gonna try to make a how to make DIY hooks, like fishing hooks. They're really easy to make. They use fence wire, so you can pick them up. I don't know how much money they are, but they're pretty cheap. Sorry, the people just screaming downstairs. Just my mom. So actually, where I fish, well, I'm actually gonna maybe do a story time video too on my channel. But if this video gets, I don't know, 2-3 likes or something like that, I'll do a story time. The first time I caught a bass, actually, the first time I caught a bass, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but the first time I caught a bass, and within 5 minutes later, I hooked on a giant, like a little 10-pounder. Like, it's crazy. And it actually came off the line too. I knew it was a 10-pounder. I could see it like surface from the water. It like went up like this to the water, and it went back down, and then on a hook for my lure. But I'll talk about that story if you guys want. Just tell me down in the description that you want to hear that, or just like the video, and I'll try to post it this week or next week. So, well, enough about that anyway, guys. So, okay, back to me fishing at my local fishing dam, basically. It's basically a dam when I go fishing. You walk down where it's basically a huge lake, like a huge, yeah, it's a pretty big lake. I don't know how many acres it is, but, and there's a dam that you walk down next to. It's next to a big hill, and there's a dam. Then it goes into a pond, and then it goes into a river. So I fished that pond, and there's actually, like a concrete path that goes across it, just a little bit from the dam, and it makes like a circle around the dam. You can walk right on it, and there's crappie like spawning. Usually in the summertime, well, the pre-spawn are usually up against the shore, and they're usually around there, and it's really in a lot of water rushes down, which pushes your bobber way to the side, and then you reel it in against the rocks, and we'll make sure you don't get snagged in the rocks, but there's crappie all around there. But usually at the summertime, when you'll be able to stand on a little thing against the water, when there's water not overflowing it, like the spring, but there's so much crappie schooling, and like, I don't know, like I have these fishing glasses I actually bought, like, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I tried them out. I could only see, like, I don't know, 10 crappie there. When I put the glasses on, I could see like 100 crappie in a school just right next to me. I could literally just cast right there. Sometimes I use a top water. This is like, most people don't use this, but I use a normal, I don't use a jig. I use one of these little things, like octopus, grubs, jig things, but I don't use a jig, I just use a hook. I throw it in the water and it slowly sinks, and I use that, I basically like work it on the top of the water, and I jump out. They literally like go from the bottom, and I jump out of the water and bite my lure, and that's the best way for me to catch fish. If you don't live next to a dam and there's not crappie like right next to you, then, well, in my opinion, the float, the bobber with the jig, and whatever your choice of lure is, like that. So that was that, and that was some stories of me fishing. So we'll go on to the next one. Alright guys, now this next boat is one of my favorite rods. It's a little bit dusty. Haven't used it until springtime. Actually, fall time. I stopped fishing about fall, because when my mom drives me there, she doesn't want to be fishing when it's like 10 degrees. So here we go. This is my Okama Samar C30 501 gear ratio. It's a really nice fishing pole. Like usually most rods that I have the what's called like the reverse spool. When you try to reel it in backwards, it usually reels in and it locks. You reel in this way and it locks, and this one it locks immediately, like a really good break, and the drag is really nice too. I'll show you what I got hooked on here. This is just a topwater Hayden tiny torpedo. It is a really good lure for topwater, and most people in my area, if you could check out, I have this FishBrain app on my phone, which you can go get at the App Store. It's called FishBrain, and it's basically like a Twitter or Instagram for people who fish, and they show locations, they show where they caught the fish, they show pictures of where they caught the fish, they tell you about the fish, they tell you what they caught the fish with, and most they use tiny torpedoes in my area, so this is gonna be really good, and hopefully we get some tanks with this. So that's my rod right here. I'm gonna go. So let's just take a drag down. It's a really nice rod. This is actually paired with 12-pound test right here. So I'm just gonna put I have one last rod. I'll show you guys. I'll actually show you this, because this is what I actually did. I don't want to waste my money. I'm actually pretty cheap with fishing and stuff like that, but I think this should be 12-pound, but this is actually a normal rod, and I turned it into an ice fishing rod. Wait, let me try to. It's all twisted up. Some of the rods I don't like, because this has like these weird looking little like metal pieces on there that really twists up the line. So this is actually, I made this custom ice fishing rod with just the it's a Shakespeare Firebird. It's a pretty cheap rod. You guys about, I don't know, $10 at Walmart, but it's a really nice rod. What I used it for is ice fishing. So I actually took off. Here is this end right here. I took off this end. It's supposed to go like this. I just made a handle out of foam and some electrical tape, and I just rubber bands and hold it on right there. And I made a little custom ice fishing rod. I like this. Yeah, it has a really nice bend to this rod, and it's nicely weighted too, how I made it. So hopefully you guys can see that. This I have right here is just I used this for ice fishing actually a couple days ago, and I use a Mimic Minnow. I think most people don't like Mimic Minnows. I have no idea why, but the action are not that great for a paddle tail. So it is considered a paddle tail or a swim bait. I don't know, but it's a pretty good lure. But the action isn't that great. But for how much money I got, for like 90 cents for two, and they went with little like blades on them too. So pretty good deal. This actually hooks into this rod. I don't want to hook it on just in case I want to go ice fishing sometime. So that's what it looks like. It's a 5.51 gear ratio. It says it takes 4 pounds, but well, actually, this is a really funny story. Actually, well, this used to be my sister's rod. She got like 5 years ago, a long time ago. And when they moved out, I just took the rod because they don't really go fishing. I don't know how anybody could not go fishing or not like fishing. Well, they don't hate fishing. They just don't have time to work most of the time. And then I let my brother use this one, and he didn't know that much about fishing either. So he thought he actually put. I switched this to 12 pound because, well, I'll tell you the story actually. This youth, he actually thought that if you have bigger pound line, because one time he had this huge, I don't know, it was a pike or something. He said he felt something. He reeled it in, and then it broke off his line. And then so he freaked out, and he's like, "Oh, I need to get bigger line for this." And what he did is in this smaller, like ultra. It's not like ultra. There's like, let me read what it says on here. It's medium, in this medium rod that it says is good for 6 to 10 pound line. He put 25-pound line on this thing, on the spool. And also, he actually went back to Walmart because it didn't really work too good. It didn't cast that far because he thought it would be better. It will cast farther and it will catch bigger fish and won't break. I'm like, that's one of the stupidest thing. You ever hear of drag before? So actually, when I used this fishing pole with the 20-pound line, it like exploded. Huge backlash, like the biggest backlash I ever saw, like the biggest bird's nest ever. I opened the bail, then the stinking thing just like exploded. So that's why you should never put 20-pound line on a 10-pound reel. So that's what you need to remember, guys. So it's a really nice rod. It's pretty cheap. I recommend if you pick this rod up, you get them about 10, 12 bucks maybe. I'm not really sure exactly now. I don't know if they sell them anymore, but it's like 5 years ago. But, well, that shows you how dumb people could be. So, well, we're just going to go. I don't have any more rods yet. I'm thinking about buying a bait caster, hopefully this year, maybe next year. So